Over 90 nights of protests in Portland. Protesters are reportedly now calling for the mayor to resign, calling tonight an unhappy birthday celebration for Mayor Wheeler. And tonight, police identify the man who was shot and killed Saturday night as 39-year-old Aaron Danielson. Danielson was a member of Patriot Prayer, a group based out of Vancouver, Washington. In just hours from now, President Trump will visit Kenosha, Wisconsin, but officials there say they don't want him to visit right now. The city's mayor says he thinks the timing is wrong and the city needs to heal on its own. But President Trump says he won't meet with the family of Jacob Blake when he does go to Kenosha. He says he spoke with someone claiming to be the family's pastor, but Blake's father says the family doesn't have one.
Well, I spoke with the pastor, wonderful man, the family's pastor, and I thought it would be better not to do anything where there are lawyers involved. They wanted me to speak, but they wanted to have lawyers involved, and I thought that was inappropriate, so I didn't do that. But I did speak with the pastor of the family, who's a fine man, a wonderful man, and I think we had a great talk.
Blake's father says he doesn't know to whom the president spoke. Blake's uncle says he has no interest in speaking to him anyway. When we come back, Mike has a look at our weekly forecast. How do I don't even know. It's a Monday,
I'm going to cover
Mike.
the weekdays, the weekend. It's going to be an entire thing, and I'm very interested in talking to you. This is a live look for your Agua Caliente Casino Cam. It's kind of quiet on a Monday night in downtown Palm Springs. Cultural Center taking shape, and a ridge of high pressure across the west is taking shape as well. We'll take a look at it together when we come back. Welcome back. Here's a gorgeous, wow. Just take a moment to take that in. That is spectacular. That's your Walter Clark Cam in beautiful Rancho Mirage, California, looking off towards what would be the south and the east tonight. A little bit of a haze still hanging out over the eastern portion of the valley, but we got that northwesterly wind blowing about 16 to 20 miles an hour tonight. That certainly helped matters. We've got another thing I want to show you here. Let's take a look at the screen. The number tonight is 22. That is exactly the number of days, just over 3 weeks until we cross over into fall, the autumnal equinox, just 3 weeks away. 3 weeks and 1 day, but who's counting? Well, I guess we are. That reminds me, today is the last day of what is called meteorological summer. You don't really need to remember that. All you need to know is that meteorological summer is measured differently. I'm going to put a whole thing up about it on my Facebook page tomorrow. In fact, we're going to talk about it in detail during the shows tomorrow night. But today is the last day of what science considers summer, and I got some really impressive numbers for you there as well. A lot of people have been asking me, how many times have we been over 110? How many times did we hit 120? How many times, or when's the last time it rained? I got all those answers coming your way tomorrow night. And if you don't catch it, then what you can do is catch it on my Facebook page. Yeah, I have a Facebook page. I'm kind of a big deal. So if you want to stop by there tomorrow night, I'll have all the details up for you. And if you accidentally swipe that like button on your way through, well, that wouldn't hurt anybody either. Taking a look at what we are dealing with this week. See that little blue H right there? That's about to become a big one. Now, it's sitting over the Pacific. That was our friend this weekend. That was actually the thing that allowed the jet stream to take that dip down, took temperatures down along with it this weekend. We finally got ourselves below average for the first time in a good long while. August has been hot, and yes, we did break some records. Now, as we go forward here, it's going to turn into an orange H. That's not important, but what is important is where it will be positioned. It's going to sit right over top of Nevada, and that is not good for the entire west coast here. In fact, this is what's called a broad ridge. It's going to be pervasive and massive. It's going to heat up folks in Portland, Boise, Sacramento, Vegas, Los Angeles, 6 to 12 degrees above normal. Now, we are the desert in Southern California. We can handle that. In fact, it doesn't even look like we're going to hit 120 this weekend, but a lot of folks will be much, much hotter than they're used to being. And of course, that will break some records, trigger some heat-related illness, fire danger. We just got those fires in Northern California under control, and reduced air quality. In fact, when temperatures goes up, ozone goes up along with it as well. That's later in the week. We'll deal with that when we get there. Take a look at the big picture here. We've got a low pressure system and the jet stream pushing that weather across the Intermountain West there down towards Texas. But what I want to point out to you is the whole lot of nothing that's going on between here and the Hawaiian Islands. Even the tropics have quieted down significantly. I'm not tracking any tropical activity in the eastern Pacific. There is one tropical low that's right off the coast of Florida right now, and other than that, all of that's gone quiet as well. Now, as we go through the week here, it's not going to dry out completely, but it'll be a lot better than it was today, and certainly nothing like it was a couple weeks ago when dew points were riding in the 70s. So 50 to 55 for a dew point this time of year is acceptable. We'll take that. 20 to 25% as far as your relative humidity goes, and again, it's about where it's supposed to be this time of year. September starts tomorrow, though. 82 in the Yucca Valley, currently 91 in Coachella. We just got into the upper 80s in Palm Springs, 87 and 29 Palms, 75 in Cabazon. Look at that, it's 59 up in Big Bear and up in Idlewild. It took a while. We were discussing this for those winds to finally switch around to the north and west, and now they're settling down a little bit, sitting at about 7 to 10 miles an hour at the airport and along I-10 there. We'll get some gusts up to about 10 or 15 tonight. Here's what we do tomorrow. Because of the drier air, we'll get into the 70s in the early morning hours. We get up to about 107 in the afternoon. 108 is where we top out in Palm Springs, 109 in Indio and Palm Desert, and then here's the next 7 days. Yep, it's going to get warmer. As we go towards the weekend here, we break above 110 on Wednesday, we break above 115 on Friday, and it looks like we'll stay there through the weekend, but we'll finally start to see those temperatures come back down again in about a week.
All right. Thank you, Mike. South Korean mega band BTS is making history this week. Their single Dynamite debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 Songs chart. It's their first #1 hit and the first time an all South Korean act has held the top spot. Dynamite is also the K-pop boy band's first song sung entirely in English. South Korea's President Moon Jae-in congratulated the group, saying it's truly amazing and it brings, quote, huge consolation to the country during the COVID-19 crisis. Sports is up next. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Time now for a look at your NBC Palm Springs sports headlines. If you're a Padres fan and you don't recognize the roster after today's trade deadline, well, you are not alone. They're trying to bolster their lineup for a potential playoff run. How adorable. The Padres have one of the best records in the majors, but are second in the West behind the Dodgers. So let's break down the moves the Padres made. First, on Saturday, they traded for closer Trevor Rosenthal to solidify their bullpen. Then yesterday, they acquired slugger Mitch Moreland to fill in as a DH and added veteran catcher Jason Castro from the Angels as well. Now, last night, in a blockbuster 7-player trade with the Mariners, they landed catcher Austin Nola. The Padres sent away their top prospect Taylor Trammell in that deal, and today, right before the trade deadline, the Padres landed the top starting pitcher available, Mike Clevenger from the Indians. Now that deal involved 9 players, with the Padres sending several young players away. In total, the Padres have acquired 9 players and traded away 15 if you're doing the math. They're going to be fun to watch. The Padres wrap up a 3-game set with the Rockies tonight. First pitch was a few hours ago. Now over to day 1 of the U.S. Open, looking different this year with no fans in the stands. Some big names taking the court today. Women's #1 seed Karolina Pliskova was the first match of the day. She won in straight sets. American sensation Coco Gauff looking to build on her performance last year, but unfortunately she won't make it out of the first round. She lost to Anastasia Sevastova tonight. She's the #1 seed. Novak Djokovic and women's #4 seed Naomi Osaka, my personal favorite, are in action on the Arthur Ashe court. And on a sadder note, legendary Georgetown head coach John Thompson has passed away. Thompson led Georgetown to its only national title in 1984 and coached some of the biggest names in the sport, including Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, and Allen Iverson. He was the first black coach to win a major collegiate championship when Georgetown won the 1984 title. Coach Thompson was 78 years old. That's going to do it for sports. We'll be right back.
Sources say we could find out tomorrow who will buy TikTok's U.S. operations. TikTok has reportedly chosen a bidder. Microsoft, in partnership with Walmart, and Oracle are the top two contenders. The sale price is expected to be in the range of $20 to $30 billion. However, the TikTok deal could be slowed or derailed by the Chinese government. TikTok's Chinese owner, ByteDance, said over the weekend it would need a license from the Chinese government before it can sell. That's because it updated its technology export list to include artificial intelligence used by TikTok. Amazon gets federal approval for its fleet of delivery drones. The FAA announced today Amazon's Prime Air is ready to expand unmanned package delivery. Their certification gives Amazon the ability to carry property on small drones beyond the visual line of sight of the operator. Amazon said deliveries would occur in areas with low population density and packages would weigh 5 pounds or less. Prime Air could drop off packages in 30 minutes or less. We'll be right back. That'll do it for us here tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good one.